Hi guys, Heavy Bear here. This is the first game of Grand Finals between Hapshepsut and Storms on Team AoE. So for those who didn't follow the World Tournament, um, they both went into the winner bracket until the last game, the round 3, where Team AoE won against Hapshepsut and Storm. And then Hapshepsut and Storm came back yesterday in the semi-finals against Drunks and Girls. So Team AoE is currently undefeated, whereas Hapshepsut and Storm lost one match against them. So about the start, so it's a side-by-side start, which is, I think, a little bit safer in terms of aggression. So usually it's hard. It's less common to see two players teaming up against one on this kind of map. Red's map doesn't look that great because it doesn't have hunt in its base. The closest is a boar here, and this was only 3 boars herd, so not that great. We saw blue build a resource camp and hunt boars also. Not that far from the town center. Yellow found his first herds of antelope in the back, so not that great either. Whereas green has a nice hunt, good boar, and a good movement herd, and then huge boars right on top of his base. So yeah, I'd say green's base looks the strongest at the moment. And in terms of resources, it looks like everyone is doing pretty well, dropping off the food to unlock the threshold of villager production. So population counter is now very close, as it should be. And we can see blue is the first to reach 150. So when you have more than 150 food, you have a bonus production. So your villager are producing 30% faster. I can't really know where I can see the info. Yeah, but villager produces they produce 30% faster. So as you can see, both players went to 14 before their opponent. And now we are expecting archery ranges to mass slingers. That appears to be the meta from start of the tournament. First a house, and the archery ranges should be very soon. I'd say yellow will be the first one to have one. Maybe it needs to build a house first. Probably needs to. Okay, so archery range first, and you can also build a house. Blue's timing is kind of the same. Red also, and green. Okay, so green is the first to build the archery range. My bad, I didn't notice that. So really good timing from green. And now he will be pumping stingers. In terms of tech, I assume everyone went for woodworking. Yeah, so everyone went for woodworking, which is kind of the most efficient tech in a early game, because you can see he has 3 villagers, so with plus 60% woodcutting speed, it's almost like a 1 full villager bonus. Whereas if he went for masons, for instance, wouldn't get that much clay, and plow doesn't make sense because it doesn't have farms yet. So now, okay, we can already see a little bit of a population lead for Team AoE, so I assume that they have more slingers. I can see one here from yellow, 2 for green, 2 for blue, and I didn't see any from red. Yeah, okay, first slingers should come pretty soon. And Team AoE does like they usually do, sending 5 to metal to get the 50 they need to get the lead bullets. And and that might give them an advantage in early game at least for the first engagements, slinger versus slingers. Blue doesn't have the food yet to get the elite slingers. It just needs a little bit more take points. But red already has the elite slingers. And it looks like yellow scouted. Blue, okay, yellow didn't see Blue's echo, but I think they noticed because he reacted to that. I'm kind of puzzled. Okay, so he got the 50 metal he needed, but Blue is badly starving. Yeah, it's pretty hard. I think the production was pretty hard earlier. And now, okay, so he didn't see the 3 singlers in back, but usually 3 singlers doesn't do that much. So we're expecting more, yeah. So all singlers are now forward from yellow. And from blue, but yellow already has elite, whereas blue doesn't. But now blue has lead bullets that kicked in, and elite should follow very soon. So now he should win the engagement because 3 of yellow slingers are in the back, and I don't think 3 slingers can do that much. But maybe if he's sneaky enough, he can. On this side, so green went for a lot, some pressure, but with I think they have the lead bullets also, yeah. So lead bullets versus no lead bullets, so I'd say red has the advantage. And yellow has been sneaky, and blue got picked. Maybe he got 1 villager picked. No, he didn't. He saved them, and now he should wipe them pretty easily. But that means that he has to micro in his base, so he can't follow this. And with a shorter reinforcement time because it's in yellow's base, yellow is fighting pretty nicely. So at the moment it's pretty even, I'd say, because yellow and blue has quite of the same population, whereas green and red also have the same population. So it will come to who can produce more military. Green's echo looks a little bit off because I see 190 clay, and that could be great for palace, but it really doesn't need that much clay early on. And with lead bullets, where green doesn't have, yeah, okay, green has now the lead bullets, but red has more numbers. They should win. Yeah, so a really good fight from red. And on this side, blue is also doing pretty nicely. Maybe he picked off 1 or 2 villagers, but we will for sure destroy the resource camps. That's not that much damage, but still is being painful to yellow. And we can see a population lead for both players. So it looks like Hapshepsut Storms climbed back and now are putting more pressure. Maybe blue can deny this tower. Huge for them. Okay, so now we can deny. Maybe pick 1 villager, another one. Okay, 1 villager picked. And red is now destroying the archery range. And this is really huge for them. Well, green has the resources to rebuild it, but that means that for the next 30 seconds, he will not be able to produce any more slingers. That could make a big difference. And now yellow is forced to fight with villagers because he probably got his military killed, and we now have a big lead. Big lead. It's a 10 population lead for blue and red. And yellow is denying the towers, which is pretty huge, I'd say, because you really don't want to let your enemy build towers in your base, because it can really deny you a lot. I think yellow will lose this. Yeah, he realizes that he loses, so he needs to fight to back off. And red is doing huge in green's base, but green is defending pretty nicely. 1 tower will help defend this area, so food and hunt should be fine. But this is pressured. Really tough time from green. And now blue is poking houses. That's usually pretty nice to do when you can destroy some houses. So, but this won't do too much damage to yellow, who has tons of dwellings already. But if you can destroy enough, you can make you can house your opponent. Then it's really hard to keep producing units. And yeah, it looks like a very dominant game from Hapshepsut on Storm. I wonder if green and yellow has some stragglers. No, they don't have any stragglers, so they're just going to climb up the deficits right now. Yellow is going heavy on clay. Yeah, maybe that's what's costing them a lot, because they kind of have too much clay. And I think, yeah, it's a disrespectful archery round from blue, I'd say. No, I think he just he realizes that yellow's pretty doomed, so he wants to build a archery range in his base. And now green fought back with all his villagers, so it looks like he cleaned most of red's army. Yeah, you can see the um, population now is pretty even between green and green starved. Yeah, they both resigned. So well played from Hapshepsut and Storms. I think what made the difference is the timing on upgrades. I think equipment make a huge difference in early fights, because if you fight maybe, I don't know, 5v5, the +4 range and +1 attack can really go huge in your favor. So well played from Hapshepsut and Storm, taking the first game. And let's see if Team AoE can climb back the deficit and take the next map. Okay, so we're jumping right into second game. Let's see if we can see a little shift in strategy, even if I'm not convinced that it will happen. Maybe Team AoE planned something to fight back. So about the start, we all again have a side-by-side start. I think it's third game they play with side-by-side starts. So I'd really like to see how they can fight in opposite map. In terms of map, yellow's base looks pretty great. So one movement here and a boars that it didn't take yet. Maybe he's waiting to have more villagers to make sure it doesn't lose any while hunting. Dwelling, yeah. So mufflins here, and they have boar right here. So green's base is a little bit worse. Blue found boars here and has antelopes that he might take afterwards. They're not that great, but not too far from his village center. But it's kind of the no man's land here. Maybe they will go here and here to get all the hunt. And it looks like Red found a really great spot with mufflins, boars, and they also have mufflins right here. So I'd say Hapshepsut and Storm have a little bit of a better map. And as per usual, we can see 6 on food for all 4 players. 6 on food for everyone, and now they're sending some to clay on wood. I think the previous game they went for 3 on clay then wood, but now they're going for 2 on clay then woods. So I think 1 less on clay. Maybe it will let them have a better timer. Speaking of timers, it looks like green is at the better villager production, because when you have 100, you have plus 20% villager production, whereas when you have less than 50, you don't have any bonus. So yeah, green is first to 13, red is just after, then it's blues and yellow. Probably blue has tons of food that he should drop off. Yeah, he has 120 food on him. He might he should drop them really soon and then get to a decent count. I still see 4 on clay, but only 3 on clay. So looks like they don't do quite the same build order as they did previous game. Yeah, so it looks like blue is the only one with 4 on clay, but it's a little bit late. So maybe we'll take 1 from clay to build the house. Yeah, the resources to build the archery range, and given the resources, I'd say green built his, yellow built his also, red dropped his, and blue is a little bit late, lacking 10 wood, and now he should drop it. Maybe in this position you want to drop your archery range with more than 1 villager, and really good from green. He caught villager idle, so he idled them a little, made them chase and idle them a little bit more. And now blue is really late on the archery range, so it doesn't look that great for him. All 3 of the players are kind of the same timing, but blue is really, really late. So maybe if Team AoE scouted it, and they probably didn't scout that it doesn't have an archery range yet, but as they scouted it, they could maybe do some damage. So yeah, 1 slinger going in already, and yellow only has 1. I remember previous game, yellow went for 3 slingers in the back. Maybe that's what cost them the game, because with 3 slingers you cannot really do any damage, and when yellow poked, maybe what he wanted to do is like he wanted to make sure that at least he wanted to see if blue was reactive enough to see the few slingers in his base while he was microing into his base, but blue reacted instantly and turned out pretty great for blue. So now blue has some slinger popping, and green saw the forward resource camp, so this will be a point of interest. I wouldn't be surprised to see green poking blue's economy right here, but blue realizes and then sends slingers to protect. What I'm a little bit curious about is usually about this timer, red and blue both go for metal, and I don't see any metal gather from blue. Yeah, okay. No, he's sending. So blue is kind of off this game. I think it's not his best performance in terms of build order, but it looks like red is doing pretty great, and now sending his army into yellow's base. But yellow's food looks amazing, so yellow can produce slingers for days, whereas red is kind of starving. He probably needs to send villagers to more to food. Okay, so it looks like this is where the action is at the moment, and need to keep an eye on this also. Okay, so it's a nice pickup. So one kill to 0, I'd say. So it looks like blue drew first blood, and now red is coming with tower. So if he can finish this tower, I don't think he can. No, he cannot. Really nice reaction from yellow, realizing that if he can deny the tower, it's if red can build the tower, it's pretty huge for him, and red shouldn't force it. Yeah, it's forcing it, and now losing it to villager, kind of a shame for him. Yeah, his first tower is a little bit too close to yellow's base. But he needs to cancel it, so he didn't cancel it, I think, so he didn't get the clay back. So really well played from yellow, nice defense on the tower, and green has lead bullets, whereas blue still doesn't. Is 90, yeah, now he has it, but green has more numbers, and now green is starving also, so yeah, I think it looks like green has a 5 villagers, or at least 5 slinger lead at the moment. So blue needs to gather a little bit more food, maybe try to transition to farms, but usually farm transition is quite long, so it doesn't really work. So he just have to soak up the pressure and try to defend the best he can. Whereas red with the towers, maybe can fight back. Yeah, he can probably deny this tower if he sees it. He might be in range with this tower, but depends on who can finish it first. Yeah, now he can deny the tower probably. He just need to click. Now it doesn't have the range, but maybe he can. Yeah, really good macro from yellow, forcing the tower. But so yeah, these two towers will defend yellow's hunt. So that's pretty nice from him. And now green is still putting more pressure, and blue is putting the defensive tower now. Yeah, this looks pretty dire for blue. He can't get food anywhere, so he's getting food here. Maybe he can get some food here also, but green green has to. Yeah, it's good. Green had to cycle around. Maybe he didn't scout. If he had his scouted the map, he could have maybe see that blue is out of food. So going here, controlling the center of the map, might be really beneficial for him. Because this granary doesn't do much, so it's. I mean, it's not useless to kill it, but it's not the most efficient way to use this time. And now it looks like it's a stalemate between yellow and red. Yellow pumping a lot of slingers, so he has 10 population lead over red, but now red is recovering and has a lot of food. So maybe red is looking for a palace transition. And blue, yeah, blue needs to be really careful. It doesn't have any pressure. So okay, and now yellow is teaming with green. So this comes to yeah, this is a really crucial point. If blue can survive the assault, they might win the game. But if blue dies on it, it's yeah, it's kind of over. And if he shows all his units, yeah. Now he realizes that yellow is here also, so red might come help. Yeah, red is going to help, but as yellow has a little bit more population, not quite much now, but yellow has still have some population in this base, and if red comes fast enough, he can come. It looks like red is going straight for green space. I don't really like the base trade here. Maybe I do like it. I don't know. Yeah, because with militia now, yeah, what makes the difference? Because in previous match where Team AoE won against Hapshepsut and Strom, they came into Nono's base, but Nono didn't have enough food to get the take point for militia. But now he has militia, so he can maybe fight back, and he has a decent farm count. Still doesn't have blow yet, but has a decent farm count. And now green is super open his base, so maybe red can do lots of damage. And with defensive towers, yeah, it looks like it's pretty hard for Team AoE to do damage into blue's base. And red is doing a lot. Yeah, he's doing a lot into green's base. And maybe red is now okay. And now red is also pushing into yellow's base. So huge carry from red side. And now yellow is going for red's base. Whereas green is losing all his army. I don't think it's yeah. I think it's a pretty bad fight from green. Yeah, he's losing a ton of units, and now yellow is going for red's base, and red stops the aggression on yellow's side, and he's probably losing more slingers, and now he's getting cleaned of green's base. So in the end, it looks like Team AoE went on the good side because of the food count of green. It looks like they're in a better position, and the yellow's army count is still pretty high. And both Hapshepsut and Strom players are struggling to gather more food. Red has low though. It looks like yellow and green also have low. and but they don't have that much farms. Red is losing more slingers here. On denied, I'm not sure what it was. Yeah, probably a granary, so not that huge, but still denied something. And now he's losing more units in his base because of yellow's army count. But now blue is pretty safe in his base. Green only has 6 slingers, so it should be fine. And blue is teaming up to try and save his teammates. Yeah, red doesn't have any tech point to get the militia. Building the tower. Oh yeah. That a second achievement? Yeah, I don't really like this second achievement because it doesn't have any food. So you cannot produce from both. And now it looks like red is trying to melee attack yellow and blue sniping. Yeah, it looks like Hapshepsut and Strom are kind of giving up on this game because yeah, that was too much pressure on them. And now green is coming back for blue's base. I think it was decent trade, but yeah, red lost lots of units here. But yellow is falling back, so I'd say in the end it went out fine because they're not losing the game on the spot. And green is killing the furnace, which is not that useful because they're not going for more equipment anytime soon. And resource count is super high on green. Wow, 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 that's crazy. Wow, wow, wow. That's lots and lots of food from green. Yeah, it looks like he finished lots of hunting and still have a really huge population lead. But blue's economy is it looks pretty fine now, but it looks like he lost an achievement. Okay, so he has 2 achievements now and producing from both. So maybe he can outproduce because they now are the same population than both his opponents. But yeah, yellow dropped the palace. So finally, we ended up in a game where they found time to do palace transition. But yellow spent a lot of resources to go palace. So maybe blue and red can find an opportunity to punish the resource investment, even though population count looks pretty dire for red. And so blue is fighting back, doing fine against green again because yeah, he has his prediction fingers from 2 archery range. And he might even go higher pop than green, but green can drop palace anytime soon. Yeah, it looks like green is going for palace as well. And if both green and yellow go for palace, it might be really hard. So yeah, wheel for yellow now, so he will have a huge resource production boost. And I will just keep an eye on the furnace to see for what equipment he goes for. I don't see his archery range, so keep producing the slingers, which makes sense because he has equipment for slingers and not for anything else. And now blue is fighting beneath green's tower. It looks like he picked off a few villagers, and now red has his military back. So now we have all 4 players with a decent army count, and it looks like it will just be a game of rotation if if they can or not meet their army. I think it's the closest match that we had the whole tournament, and it's pretty interesting to see. Now yellow fall back because he sees blue's army coming in, and green going back to blue's base because maybe he can do some damage. But now blue and red army are doing the famous pincher move, cleaning few slingers here. So yeah, that's a nice 4 slingers getting down pretty fast. Maybe a few villager pick off. And yellow still not buying any more equipment. and still producing only slingers. Yeah, still producing only slingers, and now red's population is pretty fine, and it looks like he's able to produce from 2 archers as well. So yeah, really good comeback from Hapshepsut and Strom. They finally managed to fight back and collect enough food. The farm transition was pretty hard for them because they were not producing any more food for a long time. And now green is taking the engagement, but I don't like it. I really don't like these engagements. He's losing a tons of villagers. So I think he traded about 1-for-1 in terms of slingers, but lost a few villagers. And red is getting... Oh no, all the slingers are dead. I wonder how the slingers went here. Okay, he's picking some villagers, so he's making a decent trade because he lost 10 slingers maybe. But now he's closing in with the real army and in yellow's base, and we'll see if he can do some damage. I still see only slingers from yellow. Yeah, only slingers from yellow. Still no more equipments. Pink off some reinforcements, and now he will damage the economy. Okay, nice pick up. It looks like yellow didn't see yet that red is in his base. He might be too focused on somewhere else. Yeah, he was focused on red's army here, and now he's falling back to his base and taking militia. So his villager can fight back a little bit better. So very close population still. Everyone to 50, 55, 50 to 60 villagers population. It's yeah, that's kind of crazy to see the population is getting so close for so long. And red now has blue and red has resources to go palace. They just need a little bit more food. So I'd say if one huge fights happen and they both trade a lot of units, they probably can transition to palace. Maybe that's what they have in mind because they see that yellow already has palace. So if they trade a 1-for-1 army into yellow, they can get enough time. And this fight looks pretty bad for blue. Yeah, really bad fight from blue. He might have. Yeah, he probably kills few slingers. Oh! Wait. I saw bullets going. Okay, no, okay. This one, yeah, this tower is huge because he can kill villagers here. And it looks like green didn't realize. And now, yeah, now yellow has a lot of resources yet still, and is still producing only slingers from one. Okay, now he's producing from 2 ranges, so his population should go way up. Maybe we can see a third archery range from blue or red, but I'd really like to see a palace. Run away to get the bushes and back. But I'd really like to see a palace from red or blue, but they don't have enough food. And now we have a palace from green also, so they both managed to palace transition. It's just a matter of if blue and red can put enough pressure with only slingers. And blue is doing some damage to towers, but I don't think he realizes that green found a way into his base. Yeah, so this might do some damage. Let's see how fast he reacts. He didn't see that's huge for green. Okay, so now he realizes it's only one villager loss, so it's pretty okay. But now green has heavy spears, so they might tank a lot of shots. And I think Hapshepsut and Strom need to find a way to transition to palace if they want to keep up with the game. Because if green can amass enough heavy spears, it will be pretty hard for blue and red to fight. And yeah, yellow's production is really huge. He had tons of food, so he can keep the production for days. And it looks like red started to fight. Yeah, red lost all his army, so he tries to close into melee range for yellow. Maybe his slingers can do enough, but I don't think they can. And it looks like red is going to be defeated in this. And okay, he's just stalling until blue closes in. Maybe if blue can save reds here, it might be okay. But no, it looks like the game is ending now because yellow's resources are like crazy high. I don't think I don't think you have any equipment for the palace unit yet. So it's still vanilla units when it's elite heavy spears, but they don't have any equipment, so they don't have that much defense. But that's a huge army lead for yellow. And yeah, with I don't think blue can defend from this. He's just losing all slingers. And yeah, green the heavy spears are tanking lots of shots, and yellow has so many slingers that it's pretty hard for both players to fight back. Pretty interesting game so far. But it looks like red is still not dead. But his resources looks pretty bad. 500k is yeah, he has no more village on clay, and as he shouldn't. And blue is taking a really bad fight at the moment. Green is going back for blue's echo in the middle, and yeah, it looks like a GG now. Way too much food from yellow. Still producing from only 2 archery runs. I'd like to see 2 more archery runs, to be honest. And green is still pumping. Yeah, he's pumping heavy spears and slingers. Archery runs. No, he's not pumping anything. Maybe we'll try to go for the famous Supper Rush. Now that the game looks pretty down. So huge comeback from Team AoE. This game was pretty close. It looks like they had a huge lead early on, and then Hapshepsut and Strom somehow found a way back into the game with a good fight. But now that both red and yellow as their palaces, they both have wheel, so post palace echo upgrades, and now yeah, they just cannot fight back. They cannot get to 200 food to build their palaces. So yeah, this game looks pretty down from Team AoE. So it looks like we have a series because it should be 1-1 at the end of this game, and I'm pretty hyped because it's the first time we see a palace in full slingers, because usually teams just build slingers and kill the other team with only slingers. But somehow Team AoE found a way to transition to palace. I think they really macroed weight because they managed to get all the food in the middle. All this food here was gathered from Team AoE, so they gathered more than half of the map. And whereas blue and red kind of in the middle of the desert, so yeah. Well playing from Team AoE. I think we'll probably have a 5-minute break before next game because this one was pretty dense. We still see a little bit more warriors overall Hapshepsut and Strom, and I wouldn't have expected that because it looked like Team AoE was having the military leads through the whole game. So I'd say they just had yeah, a better unit micro, and you can see it on the KD. It's really way better for Team AoE. So yes, well played. And let's see what goes on for the third game. Okay. What? Oh, what a map! So we still have a side-by-side start with a map which looks pretty great for blue, like huge balls, huge mufflons on the tilt right here. So it should be a really strong start. Mufflons here, mufflons on tilt. So not the best, but still it's pretty decent, and you can have balls a little bit later. The yellow space looks pretty okay also, so still balls, mufflons on the balls right after. And a green space. Okay, so it looks like it's pretty even map with a little favor from blue, but yeah, I was really surprised when the map popped out, as you may have heard it. I apologize for that, but it was, yeah, really crazy. So a little bit of a idle time from blue. You don't like to see it, but realizes. Um, Not the best, the most efficient hunt. No resources comp, but might be okay. And rolling a little bit earlier than usual, I'd say. And okay, no, he's just going for wood before clay, which is unusual. And he's going for 2 clay, probably 1 wood after. Clay pit, double clay pit, okay. And resource count be pretty even. Yeah, a little bit of a lead from Team AoE, but not too much. They didn't stood that much over 100. I really like. I think green is putting a lot of efforts to drop food. No, it's not. It's just random. But yellow, yeah, yellow. You could see it. It just micro 2 villagers to go over 100s. Now over 150. So a really good micro from yellow to get the food count as high as possible really early in the game. And that might result into a stronger economy. Resources look pretty even for everyone. I think blue should drop range right now, or at least very soon. Okay, he's just marking the ball first. Oh, because yeah, his clay villager was getting focused by the ball, which is unfortunate. And green should have his range, yeah. Grab the range, and he's the first. Red is second. Yeah, no, yellow was first. And blue should follow right after, yeah. We still have decent food count, a little bit of a lead again for Team AoE. And blue has a little bit too much clay, but he's building more houses, so we'll even it up. And I think what matters, the biggest difference between the two first game is like in the second game, blue and red didn't manage to get the lead bullets early enough, and maybe in this game they will put more focus to it. So like you can see already, red is building furnace. Blue has the resources to do it also. Building the resource camp, so it will probably go with the usual 5 villagers to build the resource camp and get 50 metal. Blue's food is super high because he still didn't finish his balls. Yellow built the resource camp to get the mufflons here. And green is taking the antelopes in the back. Maybe I think he should have seen them. Yeah, he saw the balls for sure. And now red is getting. I think it was mufflins as well here, and maybe we'll go for the balls afterwards. Population-wise, still a little bit of a lead for yellow because he was first on slingers. So 5 slingers already for yellow, and also 5 slingers for red. So with lead bullets that should come really soon. Yeah, lead bullets. So now has been teched in, and already building an offensive tower. And we saw in previous games that the tower was very providential in early fights. So, but red didn't realize it, and I probably won't. So, huge play from yellow being first on towers, and now blue is coming for green. Blue has no lead bullets yet, but he should. Doesn't. There's a little bit too much metal. Forgot about the furnace, but now he's taking into lead bullets. And a really good micro from Red Scout, forcing the melee attack from 2 slingers, whereas Green Scout only forced the melee attack from 1 slinger. But it doesn't have the lead bullet, so that's not that good of a trade for blue, I think. Yeah, he has more numbers. He has no numbers, and he might. Yeah, he's getting one more kill. So good trade from blue, I'd say overall. And now, oh, okay. Reds went. Okay, so red went past yellow's tower, and now he's going straight for yellow's echo, who is building a defensive tower, and now red is building his own defensive tower. So 6 slingers from yellow with lead bullets. So he's taking the building super fast. Now getting a house. Might house red on this, and red doesn't have any food. Oh, red is starving. Red is starving. Cannot produce any more military in his base, and he might get cleaned up. Oh, he's losing the archery rounds. That's if he does, it's pretty hard for him. He needs to drop off the food. Yeah, those villagers are tons of food. He needs to drop it. Now repairing. I don't. I think yellow should still focus archery rounds maybe. He's focusing the military first, which makes sense. And now he can produce more slingers, yeah. About blue, I think blue took a pretty bad fight. And now green is coming with the defensive towers. So overall, it's still in event state, but red's resources looks way better because of the 2 balls that he just took here. Now he should be able to pump a lot of slingers. Maybe drop a second range right now, but he needs a house first. Yeah, realizing he builds a house. His slinger still doing damage, but focusing the I think he was focusing the furnace, but then realized that yellow already has the lead bullets, so that doesn't make sense. Taking some houses, and now yellow should be housed. And if he can kill a second one, no, he doesn't. Yeah, he will. I think he will. Yeah, he will. So yellow will be housed for a while. Oh no, he will. Okay, so he'll take a good fight. Yeah, okay, nice trade. And now focusing down the house. Really good micro from red, realizing that he need to focus the slingers onto the house. Picking up another free slinger, and now the reinforcements that were coming from red space doesn't look that strong anymore because the numbers are quite even. But still, yeah, red realizes that he needs to run, but he cannot because he's in the corner and might try to trade with 1 or 2 slinger. Yeah, trading with 1 slinger, really good. So in terms of population, we still have a little bit of a lead from red over yellow, and a little bit of a lead from blue over green, and blue is now taking balls here, whereas green still didn't take those balls, and that may be the big difference in this early game, because blue has way more numbers, and he will go straight for red's side echo. And if he can pick up all those exposed villagers, it will be really, really huge. Or this can be the turning point of the game. You can pick those villagers. No, okay. He doesn't want to lose too many units, so he will just focus the tower, because if green manages to garrison his slingers, it can be hard for blue. And now blue focuses the slingers because, as we can see, as we saw from this whole tournament, slingers number is what makes the difference, and not that much of the villager count. And blue is pinchering the green's units with another batch of units, and I might pick two more. Oh! Oh, the balls! No! Oh! Oh! Whoa, 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 whoa! That's huge, that's huge. Oh! Wow, 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 wow. That's really, really crazy from blue. I think he did that in previous games against the Dunslingers. He didn't do it that well in previous game, but in this game, this time it was super, super huge. He killed 6 Slingers for free because of that, and Yellow's army is not that great, but Blue has a huge, huge lead over Green. Now Red is teaming up. Yeah, I'm sorry for the for the shouting, but yeah. It was just too hyped. And now blue is fighting green. Oh, that looks really bad for green. And green resigns. Wow, whoa, 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 whoa. Crazy game, crazy game from blue. Yeah, I think his map was a huge difference in this one, because the food that he got early on was crazy, and I think also what made a huge difference is the balls here. There's the 2 herds of balls for red. Was super huge when he was getting pressured and he was starving, couldn't recruit any slinger from here. But as soon as I think there were 6 or 7 villagers here gathering the balls, as soon as they dropped the food, he could fight back against Yellow and pushed him into his echo. And it was a really good micro also from red in here. So yeah, crazy game, and those walls were like, whoa, whoa. Yeah, well played, guys. So it's now 2-1 for Hapshepsut and Strom. And, yeah, so I hope we have another one of those, because it was wow. So 4th game. Yeah, that was crazy game so far. And again, a side-by-side start. Yeah, you cannot have the balls all games. Sorry, no. Decent hand for red, and here is pretty great, I'd say. Green has a huge hand also, but yellow is kind of vegetarian in this game, I'd say. Yeah. So I think green's food makes it for yellow's food. But yeah, yellow can still hunt antelopes, have some balls here, and we'll have some balls afterwards. So I say it's a decent hunt. But they all need, apart from Nono, they all need to build a resource camp or granary to start hunting. But to be honest, yellow's food looks not that great in this game. Probably afterwards, when he builds a resource camp in this area, he will be fine. But before that, yeah, might be a bit harsh for him. Already, so the granary for Sai dwelling also, and now for Recon, it's 2 clay diggers, no wood, and green is 1 wood, now 1 click. So, let me just remember, in previous game I think green was in the strongest position than yellow, so maybe yellow had this archery range a little bit sooner, but green did a better job at producing the units. So I'd say green builds a little bit better. Maybe you need to send one to wood before before clay digging, because you need 40 for the house, and then 80 for the archery range. But you also need some wood to get the archery range on the house. And if you follow the resource count, I'd say at this point of the game you need more. You need as much wood and clay, but you have a lot more clay diggers, so it will float a little bit of wood of clay. And green is now starving because he didn't drop the food, and now he will. It was in last game that yellow did a really good job at microing his villagers to get the 150, and red already has the high food count. So he should build he built his second house already, and he was just waiting for the wood. Yeah. So archery range for red, yellow, green. Yeah. So all players have kind of the same timers for the archery range, so that's might indicate a rematch of the second game with a super close population over the whole game. Lots of back and forth. I would really appreciate it. It looks like green is struggling a bit with the food. Already sent one to mine, and I think it's a better choice to go for 5 at once than only one on metal, because you don't need to have any numbers between 0 and 50 metal. So if you go 0-50, it's the most efficient way you can gather metal. If that makes sense. And I think that's why they all go. Yeah, they go for 5 villagers. They all get 10 metal, and then he just never goes to metal again. Looks like blue and red did a little bit better in producing units. And they also have a decent food count still. So I'd say for now, Hapshepsut and Strom have a bit of a lead, and yeah, as per usual, yeah, they all went for woodworking except for Green, who didn't take anything. Yeah, I think Green made a little bit of a blunder, not dropping the food that he got, because if I recall correctly, Green has a better map. At the start, he had the most earths, but yet he struggled a bit to get the food count. And in terms of slingers, I see 3, I see 6, I see 3, I see 5. On second archery launch right away. Whoa. I think it's the first. I think we never saw this before, because now he has elite lead bullets on double range, but it doesn't have the food to support the prediction. Maybe. Oh, yeah, okay. I think he realized that you were going to get a lot of hunts. And so he said, okay, let's go just pumping units from 2 ranges, and that might do it. And now we have the first fight of the game. So blue drew first blood, I think. And now yellow also have lead bullets. But green and yellow are a little bit better in terms of food count, yeah. And blue didn't deny the range, but picked off one villager. And now red is going for green's base, but green's is were struggling a little bit earlier. And now as both woodworking and slingers, so caught up. And now we'll go for lead bullets as soon as you have the wood. but I see only 3 on wood, and with 1 archery range, might struggle a bit. And red is already picking up houses, so he will stop, or he will stop green's production. He will completely stop green's production. Maybe we'll try to snipe another. No, he didn't. And on this side, it looks like it's a stalemate. But blue is, I mean, it tries to produce from 2 ranges, but it doesn't have the food. Yet he can pump. I mean, I think he has 1 working all the time, and 1 sometimes working. So I'd say it's still okay, because once you have woodworking on elite slingers, you don't really need the take point anymore, and you have enough villagers to produce to get the food you need. So that could make sense not to make sure, like to float too much food. But now green is under a lot of pressure because red has towers in his base, and now will protect the boars and maybe send some yellow's base, and green trying to escape with some villagers to get more food, because food will be a huge problem pretty soon. And he got zoned off the balls, and I can see this scout. Red scout is just staying here to deny the balls, because as soon as green sends some villagers to get the balls, they will get denied by the slingers. I don't think yellows and blue are fighting anymore. Okay, blue. There was a tower here. I think it destroyed the tower and picked up 1 villagers, and this villager had 20 food. I think he killed 2 villagers, so he denied 40 food, which is pretty huge when you look at yellow's food count. Even though population looks pretty similar for all, I'd say blue and red are putting a lot of pressure. And if they can get more map control, they might just take off the win, because I think in game 2 also what went into team AoE's favor is like they managed to put a lot of pressure early on and claimed a lot of the map. Where you see red and blue, they don't have to do that much damage, they just have to be annoying. I don't like this fight. I don't like this fight for blue. No. I'm not quite sure how many he lost. Now we have some weak slingers in yellow's army. But yeah, so as I was saying, yeah, in a second game, what made the big difference, I think, it's like Team AoE managed to have a huge map control lead, whereas in this game, red is zoning green away from resources, and he cannot escape towards his ally. So I'd say red and blue are doing a lot, and you could see red also tried to build a granary here, which is a little bit ambitious, and he cancelled it. But if he can get this hunt, it could be really huge for him. And now yellow fought back, so blue were forced to go away because it took a really bad engagement underneath yellow's tower, and blue is sending more villagers to fight to tank yellow's slinger. So yellow managed to he created scout also to force the melee range. Okay, so blue is trying to get the balls, but slingers are defending it, and it looks like he cannot attack. Okay, he can attack. So this looks pretty great for blue, and he will also get more balls, and he's probably he's pumping non-stop from 2 ranges. So yellow has a little bit of a population lead, but with this position, I'd say blue is kind of cleaning, because yellow is attacking blue's villagers, whereas blue is focusing the slingers. So I'd say blue is winning the fight, yeah. But yellow's reinforcements are really close. And on this side of the map, where it did tons of damage to green, you can see the population difference. It's 15 population lead. So I'd say now to ensure the victory, what a Hapshepsut on Strom needs is like blue needs to let's say to keep the stalemates against yellow, and red has to find a way to transition to palace, I think, because if he can transition to palace and then get a more resource production, I think is that what made the difference in second game overall for Team AoE. So far it's pretty close game still. So even if red is doing a lot of damage to green, yellow is fighting back against blue and kind of evening it out. And I still have a population lead over blue, so I think yellow is doing really great game, and yeah, a really good fight from yellow. Pick up some slinger for blue, but green, yeah, green is suffering a lot of loss. The thing is, yellow. I think yellow would like to go in green's base to help him wipe the army, but now red has just too much numbers, and green cannot get out of his base. Even if he goes here, he will just fight yellow for resources, and now yellow is going for the help. Yeah. Oh, that's a resign. Wow. Crazy game again. Really close time. Looks like yeah, just green couldn't help with yeah, just couldn't fight back red's pressure, and yeah. So congratulations to Hapshepsut for winning the series 3-1. Really impressive game also from Team AoE, which is I think the first tournament they participate in. Whereas Hapshepsut and Strom, at least Nono already won all previous tournaments, so for sure he was favorites in at the beginning of the tournament. But Team AoE went super big, super strong in during the whole tournament. They dominated a lot of match, especially I think the Rune 3 against the other finalists. So yeah, really well played from both teams. It was super nice to seeing them play. And second game again was really crazy. I really loved it. I'm also gonna thank everyone for playing, joining the tournament. So all of the teams. It was really nice seeing you plays, and thank you also those on Twitch and YouTube for watching me. I hope you enjoyed it overall, even if I know my commentaries are not always the best.